Hello and welcome to the podcast that can't be doing with tricks and showboating and all that nonsense, but because of a special guest today is slightly changing its tune. It's the big man up top.
Yes, it is. Hello, Ed.
Hello, Joe. How are you doing?
Very good. I don't mind a trick or two.
Do you not?
No.
Yeah, but you're younger and so you sort of like all
I'm
that.
a bit more woke than you.
Yeah, exactly. You like all that, nonsense.
Yeah.
No, we're just kidding.
You're a bit more Pep Guardiola, aren't you?
Yeah, of
like
course.
You're tutting and rolling your eyes at it.
Yeah. So good. No.
Come on, you irons.
Exactly. No, we mentioned tricks and showboating because we have a special guest today, don't we, Joe?
We do. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Al Johnson, football freestyler extraordinaire. How are you doing, Al? Thank you for joining us on the Big Man Up Top.
Yeah, it's amazing to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, really looking forward to being with you guys.
Well, that's it. We thought, normally we have interviews with guests and stuff, but we thought we'd bring you down to UCB.
Yeah.
Obviously, because we want to see some of your tricks.
Show us what you've got
around the office later. But also, we just thought, what a great guest to have for the whole, a real proper football man who knows his stuff.
Ball knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they call it, isn't it?
Sure, we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, so obviously, plenty of chat about Middlesbrough and so on, who's your team, so,
big day for you, Al.
Yes, it is second leg of the playoff semi-final. Big day for Middlesbrough fans, yep.
Are you looking forward to it? Is it?
I am. I'm kind of resigned to the fact that we might not get through, but you know what? There's always a chance, so we'll see.
I feel like playoff semi-finals are classic for let's just hope for the best, but expect the worst.
You can't control it.
No. Exactly.
But we'll keep a close eye on it, a bit like the Southampton coaches did to the Middlesbrough game.
Yeah, I thought that might come up. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, we'll definitely come on to some Spygate nonsense.
2.0.
Exactly. Well, should we start with some Bible Ballers, Joe?
Let's do Bible Ballers. This is our weekly segment. It's a quiz. This is a quiz around a Bible baller who is a footballer or football-adjacent person who shares their first name with a book of the Bible. Al, you've heard of a Bible baller, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
That's the correct answer. No one else has. Our listeners are barely getting along.
I was briefed to say yes.
Yes,
well done.
Correct. You're quizzing me.
I am. It's going to be a bit different. I'm quizzing both of you.
Oh, exciting!
This week. I don't know if this will count towards the scores,
or is it just an international friendly?
I think it is. Yeah,
okay,
it's Soccer Aid. This is
okay. Good.
So what I want you to do, Mark Hughes. You've heard of Mark Hughes?
He's a Bible baller.
He is. Yeah.
Book of Mark.
Yeah. Very good. Well done.
Yeah.
I want you both to name as many clubs that Mark Hughes has managed in his career as you can. The person who names the most wins. Okay. And if you both name all of them, it's the order. If you get the order right.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm definitely not doing that. I'll struggle there. But okay. So what do you want us to write down now?
Yeah. I'll give you. I'll make some chat while you.
Okay. I'm gonna write some.
Tom, you've not got
down.
a mic today. Is there anything you want to share?
With you?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Kylian Mbappe story?
What was that?
He's got a petition to get him out of Real Madrid.
Okay.
Not the fake one, the real one. And they want to get him out because he went he was at an injury time, but then he went to Sardinia. I think I'm saying that one right. He went to Sardinia for an holiday, and people don't like that. So there's got 50 million signatures, which is more than most human rights acts.
This is really hard for me to concentrate on on writing Mark Hughes manager, who teams he's managed.
And then just leave us to it.
Okay, I'll take my headphones
off. And then what? He had his manager, Adiola, Arbeloa.
Yeah.
I was pretty. It's Beloa. Yeah. It's when you lose your keys or something. Anyway, it's he said that he's entitled to do whatever he wants as a professional
rightly
footballer.
so. I think that's a long enough, Tom.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. We'll come back at the end of the episode.
This is not looking good for me. I've got 4.
It's more than me.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a bit more time, and we'll come back at the end of the episode to find out your answers.
Lovely. Thank you. What a weekend it's been in the Premier League, Joe. It's just, we're kind of getting to that point now where I don't know whether the quality is ramping up necessarily, but the tension definitely is, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got half the league playing for something, half the league are on the beach. Very much so. And some big stories this weekend. Shall we start with Arsenal West Ham.
Yeah, Arsenal West Ham. This was a game that you and I and our colleague Lizzie, big Arsenal fan, were watching, not together, but watching at the same time.
Via WhatsApp.
Yeah.
As in, like, we weren't watching on WhatsApp.
No, we were texting each other. And there was a moment where I sent a text saying something like, "Gosh, this is so tense," and accidentally it auto-corrected to tender.
I was wondering what you were up to.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Gosh, this is so tender." And
I wouldn't use tender to describe this game.
No, we'll describe this game. Arsenal coming through 1-0.
Tetchy
1-0 winners.
is how we may as well start with the big talking point. Right?
What's that? What was that?
VAR decision right at the end. Al, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it was so disappointing because I want City to win the league as well as Spurs going down. So there was a combination.
We're all in that boat.
Yeah, like the rest of the country. So there was a combination of those two things going on. Lots of emotions. But I think first and foremost, there was at least 2 fouls on David Raya in that incident, in that moment. So I think they came to the right decision. I think the frustration is that it took so long.
Yeah.
But also, people can point back to various other occasions earlier on in the season where Arsenal have got away with certain things in a similar vein. And, I guess that's football, isn't it? People are, you're always going to go with your own bias, and people are going to point back to situations where they've been hard done by earlier in the season. But I think just on its merits for this particular case, it was the right decision, as frustrating as it was.
It was a foul.
And look, let's bring our faith into this straight away. 2 wrongs don't make a right, do they, Joe? Just because Arsenal have got away with all sorts this year.
But I think it's a question of consistency, isn't it? That's what we're all crying out
for.
That's all we ask for.
We want. That's all we ask for.
But all throughout the season, Arsenal, particularly Ben White, gets a reputation for this, of crowding out a goalkeeper, and Arsenal have scored a load of goals from corners like this. So then when it goes the other way, there's just this sense of injustice from all of us City fans this season. But it's the right call. It was a foul. It took ages, but that's what we're used to, and that's football these days, isn't it?
Can I be honest? I was watching this, and yes, it took far too long, but part of me didn't hate the big delay with the VAR, because there was this moment where you're watching this going, especially as a neutral, going, this decision is very genuinely could likely decide the title, decide a relegation spot. And so you sat there going, it's like the big dramatized delay at Strictly. It's the kind of, who's going this week. And I was like, no, drag it out. This is great. This is good drama.
Come on, Dermot.
Yeah.
He's not Strictly, as he's
no.
X Factor.
And of course, just adding to this, and we sort of joked about it when they brought this rule in, but it was just all added to with the ref announcing, after review. It adds to it, doesn't it?
That's not a dramatic moment, though, is it? Because we all know what he's going to say.
We all know what he's going to say, because Gary Neville was telling us the whole time.
He tells us before.
Yeah. Come on, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing what they're saying. You lot aren't, but I'm hearing it.
He loves us to know that he's got an earpiece.
He's got an earpiece, and he knows what the Stockley Park are saying. But do we think 1-0 for me again? Sort of. I know in that moment we're sort of talking about the justice of it, but it felt fair in terms of the way Arsenal have that's just been them all season, hasn't it? And they've ground out these really boring but effective 1-0 wins all year, haven't they, Joe?
Yeah, well, we're past the point where we care about the way they play football. It's well documented that it's been dull and hard to watch. I nearly turned to screwing in an IKEA bench during this game. Lots of DIY to do.
I was going to say, it's becoming a regular thing that you get bored of the football and start assembling some flat pack furniture.
It's how this season's gone for me as a Liverpool fan. Well, it's a classic 1-0 to the Arsenal, isn't it? They find a way. It's a sign of champions. They grind out the result. It wasn't pretty. It was effective, and it's hard to see them slipping up from here, isn't it?
We also quite enjoyed terrorising Lizzie on Monday in the office by saying, does this mean that the title win has an asterisk?
It is an asterisk season.
Tainted.
It's tainted title victory.
No, well, I think we're obviously having a bit of a laugh here with the Arsenal fans, but again, just getting the job done, and that's what you have to say. Man City winning 3-0 at home to Brentford. too little, too late, do we think?
Yeah, they're looking very good, aren't they? Particularly Jeremy Doku has kind of turned up towards the end of the season. City just have those three players, Doku, Shirky and Semenyo, and you can guarantee that one of them is going to play well and have a really good game. And that's just getting them through. But you're right, it's Pep's kind of stumbled on this formula a little bit too late in the season. And it's all stemmed from that 3-0 last week, hasn't it? That's what's kind of messed them up. And you can see them winning every game, but you can't see Arsenal dropping points.
I was going to ask that question to you, Al. Do you think City have a chance, or do you think that's it? League's gone?
No, they do, but like Joe said, I think you're relying on Arsenal to drop something somewhere, and that's unlikely now. I think the reality is that both teams will just win the last few games, I think, and that'll be it, and it'll be quite boring. But I love watching City, especially players like Doku. He is my kind of player, like just direct, goes at people, and the form he's in at the moment, he's not carrying City, that's not true, but he is definitely there shining light at the moment, along with Cherky, Semenyo and Haaland when he scores. So yeah, I think Arsenal have probably done it now. I don't think they'll slip up.
Down towards the bottom, last night, Monday night, Leeds playing Spurs. Now, Al, you and I sort of caught the first sort of 7 minutes of this because you arrived at UCB on Monday night. We went out for a bite to eat and to watch Millwall Hull, which you were more interested in, rightly so. But obviously, when we got there, Joe, they had the Spurs Leeds game on.
Did you have to ask them to?
Well, to be fair, the guy said, "Oh, do you want to? Is this the game you want to watch?" And we asked him if we could change it over.
They could tell that you were both Championship through and through.
Yeah, exactly.
Proper football men.
I think it was just the way we were dressed, to be honest. These two guys are not Premier League.
They're not Spurs fans. Yeah, no, fine. But again, at the bottom of the table, more drama, Joe.
Yeah, really tight game. Again, Spurs just unconvincing. They had big chances to put this game to bed and they didn't do it. A big positive for them is that James Maddison is back and he was looking good, both physically. He's got lovely long hair now. But also like he just provides that creative spark to this team. And again, probably too little too late potentially. But yeah, Leeds, it's one of those that when you play a team that don't have anything to play for, you're like, why are you trying? Like, let us win.
Come on, guys.
Leeds were like really up for it, and they were playing with that freedom that they've kind of played with away from home all season. And yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin again, get him on the playing head.
What do we think about Spurs? And again, that because they look like they've got the fight sort of, but again, it's going to be a really tense last couple of games, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine, but again, that's down to West Ham. West Ham's fixtures aren't favourable. They're away at Newcastle, which could go either way, and then they're at home. I can't remember who they played on the final game, but it's by no means achievable to win those games. So yeah, Spurs again have got a fight, and that's what you want to see. They're just lacking a bit of creativity, and it's going to be tight. But I think they'll be okay. I think they've got enough in that squad that they'll be fine.
I think we should probably move on to the playoffs because I think this is another sort of, arguably more interesting than what's going on in the Premier League and that ongoing tense battle. Is Millwall Hull last night? So Hull booked their place in the playoff final, which is it's massive for them, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is definitely. I mean, they say it's the most lucrative game in football, don't they? Especially in England. So yeah, I think probably the right result last night. I just think Hull have got a little bit more firepower up front, and some of their creative players just turned up. So they got across the line. Very tentative first legs from both sides. Middlesbrough, Southampton, which I was at, being a Middlesbrough fan, and then the first leg of Hull, Millwall, both 0-0s. Being at the first leg as a Borough fan was absolutely phenomenal. Just the welcome that the players got. They all arrived all together on the coach. Flares everywhere. It was like a European night, that you get from some of the big clubs. So that was an amazing occasion, and we'll see what Middlesbrough can do tonight. Having
obviously followed the Championship all year, Middlesbrough, that team, it's kind of like Rochdale in the National League. Like you're like, why did they not go up in automatic, in the automatic spaces?
Well, because from February to April, we decided to not know where the goal was, so that's the main reason.
Look, my team did the exact same. So
yeah. Middlesbrough's tactics are 70% of the ball for the whole game, but don't put it in the net. So we couldn't hang on to second. We did so well during the season, and from usually being 12th and 14th to being second for most of the season, we can't really complain. So yeah, it's a one-off game tonight, 0-0 from the first leg. So it's a one-off game. Anything can happen. So I guess the pressure is a little bit more on Southampton because people are expecting them to win, and they're at home. So
and they know your tactics.
Yeah, and they've got binoculars. So yeah.
But before we move on, Joe, what was this binoculars? Spygate 2.0.
I'm obsessed with this story.
So go on,
funny.
Tell us about it.
Well, a Southampton coach has been accused of spying on the Middlesbrough training, and the way they've done this, it wasn't like a full-on spy mission. It was disguise yourself as a golfer, go on the nearby golf course, right, and just
I could have done that.
Yeah, just have a look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me, can you really tell a lot from training?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
There's a theory behind what they were trying to find out. So when I first heard it, I was like, most teams will know that Middlesbrough play possession football and don't score a lot of goals. I'm not sure what else they need to know. If you score, you'll probably beat us. That's why they're spying. But then it came out, our best player, Hayden Hackney, who's central midfielder, if we don't go up, he'll likely be signed by a Premier League club in the summer. He's been injured for the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's our catalyst, he's our main player, absolutely brilliant midfielder. So there's been a lot of talk of Southampton were trying to find out if he was going to be involved in the playoffs. Is he training again? Is he back on that training field? Is he not? Do we need to be worried about him? So there's a little bit of a theory that that's what they were looking for.
Okay.
He was with the squad. He came off the squad off the bus with the squad in the first leg. So everyone was like, "Oh, he's here. He must be playing," and then he didn't play. So hopefully, I think there might be a little bit of a thing tonight where he's either starting or he's on the bench. Yeah. But we'll see.
So it's funny. So whoever this spy is, they've sort of had to pretend that they've sliced one big into the trees.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting my ball. I would have no issue with pretending that. No, fantastic stuff. And yeah, obviously caught with a massive set of binoculars and a big notepad.
But then the question is did Tom de Rijkaard know about this? The manager is he gone on his own?
Yeah,
has he done this himself?
Yeah.
But Southampton have been charged, haven't they? Who knows what could happen from there?
Because there's a lot of talk around other clubs in the Championship now saying, "Oh well, that might have happened to us as well." Yeah. So I think this is just the start of this story.
Well, it's interesting. Slight deviation from football here, Joe. But I'm also big into my American sports.
Sure.
This was a huge thing in Major League Baseball a few years ago because basically teams were. Essentially, it was a whole thing about reading signs. When the pitcher and the catcher, they do weird, funny signs with their hats and stuff. People were, looking through fences and all sorts to try and work out teams had titles taken away from them and stuff. So who knows where this might go? But it's a bit of excitement, isn't it?
It's a bit of fun. It's not the first time it's happened either in the Championship. Of course, Bielsa at Leeds was found doing this, and in response gave a big PowerPoint presentation on why it wasn't cheating. It was so dull.
More PowerPoints needed in football press conferences, please. We're going to move on to looking at the rest of the EFL. We've actually got a voice note from Stat Matt.
Oh, go on.
When numbers fall flat, fancy that. It makes sense because of Matt the Stat.
The EFL is now headed into the playoffs. So I picked out a 5-a-side team of players who have been perhaps underrated this season. In goal is Peterborough shot stopper Alex Bass, whose 149 saves are the most across the EFL. Cambridge United defender Michael Morrison has won the highest percentage of ground duels in League Two. The veteran defender won 78% of his this season. Sheffield United midfielder Gustavo Hamer tops the Championship with 13 assists for the Blades this season. Up front, I've chosen Aaron Drinan of Swindon Town. He outscored his XG by nearly 5 with 22 goals this season. And finally, Reading striker Jack Marriott. He's only played 24 games this season, but his 16 goals outscored his XG by more than double.
When numbers fall flat, fancy that. It makes sense because of Matt the Stat.
So there we go. There's Matt's stats, five-a-side football team from the EFL. What do you make of that, Joe?
Yeah, good. I love. He mentioned Gustavo Hamer there. I loved watching him at Sheffield United. He's one of those players that is brilliant in the Championship, makes that step up to the Premier League and doesn't quite make it. So, yeah, I'm fascinated by how his career is going to go. But I love putting together five-a-side teams, especially ahead of the World Cup. It feels like, this is prime lineup time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Write it on a pizza box.
Yeah, it's prime sort of getting some B-list actor who's quite into football to name his all-time World Cup five-a-side teams.
Like love that.
Pele, Maradona, Eusebio in goal. Yeah, fair enough. Right, we need to mention the National League, where we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, haven't we now? York and Rochdale. Obviously, York going up. But Rochdale had some good news, didn't they, Joe?
Justice was served for Rochdale. They played in a National League final this weekend against Boreham Wood. And it was a close encounter, but they got a last-minute equaliser to take this to extra time and penalties. And, won the penalty shootout.
They've done it.
They've done it, which I think everyone is delighted by after what they went through against York and all that kind of thing. Back to League Two.
It feels particularly good because it's not just they had to get through the playoffs, but they had to get through a 6-team playoff. So it's it's a whole extra sort of thing. But yeah,
which is where the EFL is heading, right? Next season, there's going to be 6 teams in that playoff. So what do we think of that?
Chance for Stoke.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. Any team in and around 17th position, all of a sudden,
right.
Yeah.
Buffers up.
The thing with the National League for me is the real injustice of it is that there's only one goes up automatic.
Yeah.
So Rochdale finishing second on 107 points or something.
Crazy,
Sorry, you've got to go in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What?
Unbelievable.
Mad.
So I'm glad they did it.
So, Al, we wanted to bring you in not just to talk nonsense about Middlesbrough and your chances this evening, but obviously, you're doing some incredible work, and we wanted to find out about you, about your story, what do you do? Let's start with your job title. I asked you this yesterday. It was fantastic. What would you describe yourself as? What do you put on your tax forms? That's what I want to know.
So yeah, I guess the kind of official thing is freestyle football evangelist, which then needs a bit of explaining.
Please do.
Yeah, so freestyle football to start with is basically doing keepy-uppies, tricks, juggling the ball, basically, being creative with a football. So it's just a fancy term for keepy-uppies, basically. And then obviously the evangelist part is I like to use that to reach people, to communicate the gospel to them. Football is such a global game. You can go pretty much anywhere in the world, and if you've got a football with you, people will, be attracted to that and want to get involved and want to have a kick around and want to try a few tricks or whatever. So for me, I just see it as such an amazing opportunity to reach people with the gospel.
And so, I'd love to know, how did you get to this point? Because that's an incredibly niche specific thing to be doing. So it must have been, was this a dream from the age of 6 or something?
No, so I wanted to, like a lot of boys and girls, I wanted to become a professional footballer. That was what I wanted to do. That was the only thing I was interested in, was playing footy. Right the way through primary school, secondary school, that was all I wanted to do. I was brought up in church as well from the age of kind of 4, so church was always there in my life as well, but I kind of pushed that to the back. I wasn't interested. Just wanted to play football whenever I could. So yeah, that was kind of my dream. That was my goal. That was what I wanted to do. That was where I put all my eggs in that basket, if you like. And when I was 16, I got to go on trial at Sunderland, which is fairly close to Middlesbrough, where I live in the northeast. So,
how was that as a Borough fan?
It was a little bit like it could have been someone else, but I'll take the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It didn't deter me at all, really. So yeah, went to play for Sunderland. Within a few months of being there, I was playing in a match, stretched too far for the ball, and I tore my groin and got a hernia, which I thought was just something that happened to old people when they lift things, but apparently it can happen to young people playing football as well. So yeah, that was pretty devastating at that age. I couldn't play football for 8 months. Had to wait for an operation, recovery before that, recovery after that. I even had to use like crutches and a walking stick for a little while. So it was just like, what is going on, you know? Felt like the rug had been pulled out from underneath me. And it was really through that injury that I really felt God was speaking to me and saying, what are you doing? You're not living for me. You're trying to go through life and get somewhere in your own strength. You need to be in relationship with me and find out what my plan is for your life. So it was a little bit like the injury was like being hit by a bus, but then what God was saying to me was similar. You know, it was like, oh, okay, Lord, I'll recommit my life to you, and I want to follow you first, and then and be in your plans and not figure out my own way.
So how did that then lead to the sort of football freestyle stuff?
So through the injury, through my recovery, I'd just go out in the garden and juggle the ball, and you know, just started to kind of try some of these tricks. It was around about the time of the 2002 World Cup, and there was different TV adverts that were coming out with people doing tricks, and when Ronaldinho was starting to become famous, and he'd do a couple of tricks, and there was a T-Mobile advert of a guy called Mr. Wu, who was probably the main freestyler at the time, a Korean guy, and he was juggling the ball on the sole of his feet while he was on the phone, and that was a big advert at the time, and you would see stuff like that and think, oh, I might go and try that or whatever. So that was kind of how it started, and my passion for the juggling and the freestyle, and I would try and break like my keepy uppy record, doing hundreds and then 1,000 and then building it up. And at the time I was with Youth for Christ, doing a year out with their sports team, and at the end of that year I managed to do my first like show at a youth event, doing some tricks, which was amazing. And then off the back of that, managed to kind of turn it into a little bit of a job, really, because I didn't fancy working, so I thought I'd do that instead. So that was kind of how it came about.
Well, that's amazing. And so when you're sort of doing these shows, you sort of obviously mentioned, you know, using this to share the gospel. How practically, like how does that look? How do you transition from, like, you know, I've balanced this ball on my head, on my nose, whatever, to then telling people about Jesus? That's because that's a gap, isn't it? How do you bridge that?
Yeah, so I think doing the tricks and the juggling and that kind of stuff, that's the thing that gets people attention. You know, it maybe gathers a crowd, or people kind of like, oh, what's going on here? So it's about grabbing people's attention, really, to then speak to them. So yeah, it's a bit of a cheat code, really. But yeah, and I think that's fine. You know, I don't think that, you know, we as Christians, we can't always expect that people are going to be attracted by Jesus right away.
Yeah.
Actually, they might be attracted by a friendship or a relationship with someone who's brought them to church, or something that they've seen, or a song that they liked. And it can be all of these different things that is the initial attraction. And I think that's okay, because God's given us all different gifts, different talents, different things that we can do, you know, to actually, first and foremost, to worship him, but then actually also to reach people. So I think that's okay that people are attracted by some of that stuff, the creativity, and then that allows us to speak into their lives, or to preach the gospel, or whatever it might be in those particular contexts.
Now, we're coming up to, I think, like a really exciting time, you know, the World Cup this summer.
A month today.
Isn't that incredible?
Amazing.
Now, obviously, we here at the Big Man at the Top, we sort of have this, I think, shoulder this sort of burden of, like, you know, this is going to be a huge cultural moment. All of the eyes of the world are going to be on this sport, you know, on the US, Canada and Mexico. And, like, what an opportunity to really use football to communicate the gospel. So is that something that you're thinking about as well, as how can we use this cultural moment to impact lives for good?
Yeah, definitely. Over the years, when there's been different tournaments on, it's definitely my most busy time.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's great that churches can capitalise on the fact that there's a tournament happening, and interest in football is going to peak at those moments. So yeah, over the years, when there's been Euros on, or World Cups, or whatever it might be, I'll often partner with churches to do like a men's night, or if they're showing the match, and they'll put an event on. So yeah, I've done many events over the years that have been related to whatever tournament's on at that time, because what I do kind of fits in quite nicely.
You've done many sort of, you know, share the gospel during half time at a watch party.
Yeah, exactly that.
Because I guess that's the thing, isn't it? These
that.
Tournaments bring so many people in, right? Like throughout the season, I guess your pool is a little bit smaller of football fans, right? Whereas at this month, so many people are going to be watching football that don't already. So yeah, it's quite an exciting time, right?
Oh, it is, definitely. And I think whilst the church, we don't need to feel pressured by that. And have we done enough? Have we reached enough people? Have we not capitalised on the opportunity? I think as long as we're intentional about, reaching people within this period and taking advantage of it, then that's great. And I think we definitely should be doing it because, like I mentioned before, football's such a large opportunity and such a big mission field because so many people are into it. So why wouldn't we? Especially at those times when the tournaments are on and we can show a match at church or whatever.
And I feel like the church is kind of heading in a more open way with that. I know, like, growing up, like, it would be awful if church was cancelled for the football, right? Like, if a church service was cancelled so we could watch England, like, there would be a lot of uproar. I feel like we're kind of heading towards, like, that's less of a thing. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. I think going back even further, probably 10 years further than when you were younger, Joe, it was almost like we're not even allowed to discuss the opportunity of having this on at church, regardless of whether it's a Sunday or not. I would even go as far to say that that's what it was like in some places. Even to the point where if you wore a football shirt in church, it was frowned upon. So I think the conversation when I was younger, I remember the conversation wasn't even around. But then when I became an adult and things progressed, then, we're showing a match on a Saturday at church. Oh, right, okay, is that allowed? Yeah, okay, that's now allowed. Great, okay. To go back to your point about maybe showing a match instead of a Sunday service, I'm not sure that, I don't know. I'm not sure that I would go that far and say that that's okay, but certainly if it's a 1 o'clock kickoff, then you can definitely do something after the service.
An evening service is fine, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Not the morning.
Yeah, come on, James. Some things are sacred. To be fair, that 2002 World Cup, there probably was, the opportunity to move a few Sunday morning services. I want to talk a little bit with you, Al, about this idea of your tricks, about your the things that you do to football freestyle, because I feel like we're in this funny place in football culture where showboating, as some people might call it, kind of gets a bit of a bad rap, and there's kind of you almost got this divide of people that go, oh well, look at Arsenal this year, that's nonsense, just get it in the onion bag and all that sort of stuff. And then also there's this real sort of move, but I think probably particularly from young people, where it's just this sort of joyous expression of this wonderful sport that we love. So, like, how do you sort of balance that? Are you just a big show off? I suppose is my question to you. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so I love the creative side of football, which is fairly obvious, and that's whether I'm stood juggling a ball or whether I'm playing. I mean, I don't play that much these days. I'm 42, maybe a bit of five-a-side every now and then. But when I play five-a-side, I get kicked because I try and do, things that are creative, and I'm more interested about how I can get it past someone rather than just passing it into the goal. So, I don't score many goals, but I like to try nutmeg, or just the creative side of stuff excites me, and I love it. Football in the late 90s, in the 2000s, was just an absolute joy to be around and a joy to watch, because you had players like Ronaldinho in the Prem, we had JJ Okocha, Abel Tarapt at QPR, players like that just get me off my seat. And I think for me that is what football is about. If you have got that in your kit bag, then you should be doing it. Like, people who get annoyed by it, I just don't understand. I just don't get it. I understand in the professional game, managers want to win, clubs have got to win games and all that, and they get annoyed when someone tries something and it doesn't work. But as a fan, obviously, for me, I absolutely love that stuff.
What do you think, Jay?
I think it's a balance, isn't it? Of like,
no,
I feel like I think I agree with you. I think it's this question of, is football an entertainment or is it a sport? And I think a lot of people would say if it's a sport, then you can't have fun. Like, winning is the most important thing, and I think that's what you're seeing, particularly at the elite level. But at the same time, like, you watched that PSG Bayern game last week, and it was just so joyful because there was so much technical ability and skill on show, and everyone has said that's the best game I've seen in a long time. And
you missed it.
I missed it. What was I doing on that one?
I can't remember. I was texting you.
I missed it.
This is amazing, and you go, no, not watch it.
I think I was out with a non-football friend.
Yeah.
But I think we're at a point now in football, and where managers want to control every single thing, so they see a player try something and they're not happy. And I think that is a real shame, because it is the World Cups, it's the watching that Brazil team that just gets you excited about watching football.
Yeah, so I've got a bit of an obsession with the Mexico 1970 World Cup, which is why I'm very excited about this summer's World Cup as well, and that incredible moment where Pele's dummy, the famous dummy. So somebody's passed it into him. The keeper's sort of rushed out, and he's just stepped over, and the ball's kind of just gone around, and it was just incredible. And he nearly scored what I think would have been the most beautiful goal ever.
It was like Bergkamp at Newcastle. It was going to be that type of goal, wasn't it?
And there's just something wonderful about that. And I think that. So for me, football is this joyous expression. And I think about the footballers who made me fall in love with football, and there's a couple that I could reel off. One, honestly, being David Beckham as a kid. Like, I watched David Beckham and thought he was, just incredible what he could do with a football from dead ball situations. But also as well, I have to mention him, Joe, Ricardo Fuller. Stoke City's.
Was he a trickster?
He just he was
clumsy, wasn't he?
No. Ricardo Fuller was a magician. He was an absolute magician, a wonderful player. He had just had this way of, like, when the ball was at his feet, the whole stadium got on the edge of their seat, and he would do these incredible.
Al, what is that?
Al has brought me a sticker.
Is it a shiny?
It's a match attack. It's a card.
Match attack.
Look at this. It's a Ricardo Fuller match attack. That's incredible.
Why has he got a shiny?
I know, I did wonder.
Because he's Ricardo Fuller. I honestly, and I think we all have kind of players like that. He just, when he got the ball, it was remarkable. There you go, Tom. Have a look at a real footballer there.
A real footballer.
The goal, I will remember the goal he scored against Birmingham City. In the Premier League in 2011, I believe it was.
Okay.
I will remember that goal for the rest of my life. I was in the boothing end, but it was just this moment where he had 4 defenders in front of him, and he sort of took them on and then rifled it into the top corner with his weaker foot. And you just think, oh man, and it's that joy, and some players do that for us.
And that's the wonderful thing about the club that you support as well. When you mention Ricardo Fuller, myself and Joe were like, did he? Was he any good?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so for me, for Middlesbrough, in the 90s, that was Janino.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of other people now would be like, Janino? Well, yeah, I suppose he was all right. Didn't you get relegated? But do you know what I mean? So it's that bias of your own club. But that's an amazing thing, because everyone has that with their own club, regardless of whether you've won the Premier League title or whether you're an average championship team. Do you know what I mean? And that is an amazing thing. For me, it's Janino.
As well, Mendieta.
Oh, well, Borough have got a few.
Joe, if I sort of said to you, players that brought you joy, and we had a joke about Dirk Kuyt being your favourite Liverpool player of all time.
Workhorse, but he couldn't strike a ball cleanly.
Yeah, okay. So what player, when you think of that, what player brought me joy as a fan? Who would you say?
You have to caveat by, I don't agree with his morals, but Luis Suarez.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Oh, I've got a Dirk Kuyt card.
Oh, look at that.
Al's got it all.
You came prepared.
Oh, my goodness.
Who's better? What stats have you got?
Ricardo Fuller versus
your shiny Ricardo Fuller against
Trumps now. Right.
Okay.
What's your attack?
60.
Oh, 69.
Oh,
sorry, mate.
Listen, fair enough.
That's fair.
That's fair. So tell me about why did Luis Suarez?
Just because I think, that season 2013-14, just the best individual player performance I've ever seen at Liverpool, because you would turn up and you would know he was going to do something, but that thing he was going to do was going to be exceptional, and it was going to be just mind-blowingly good. That whole season, you would just... I remember there was one game against Norwich, he scored 4 goals, and he scored the best hat-trick I think I've ever seen, and it was on a Saturday, and I avoided the scores and wanted to watch Match of the Day, not knowing the scores. And I knew Liverpool-Norwich was on. It was on first. And I was like, Luis Suarez has done something, like, no doubt. And he goes and scores 4 goals. And you just knew every time you watched him play, he was going to do something exceptional.
And I think like that's sort of what it comes back to is that thing of just that the unexpected, but you know it's going to be good. And I am going to, I don't think this is shoehorning faith into this, but like in many ways that's kind of like faith, isn't it? In that we live life hopefully trusting that God is going to do something amazing, and we're kind of like, look, I don't know what it's going to look like, but you know, God, I think you're going to do something amazing. And I think like this sort of joy that football can bring us. It's like watching an artist, isn't it? It works sometimes with these kind of players. Let's go back to Juninho. Do you remember something that he specifically did, like in a game? Is there a moment with Juninho that you can remember, Al?
I think in terms of so I guess there was 2 things really. I guess his debut, which was against Leeds, I think, if I remember rightly. And he assisted very early on in that game. So there was already a lot of hype, because at the time when we signed him, people don't really realise this, he was Brazil's number 10. He'd just come off the back of playing one of these friendly tournaments at Wembley against England with Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo at the time. So even though he was fairly unknown, there was still a lot of hype about him back in Brazil. So Brian Robson actually went over to Brazil. He signed Juninho, and he tried to sign Roberto Carlos as well.
Can you imagine?
On the same visit.
Brilliant.
But
Roberto, do you want to?
When he asked,
do you want to come to Middlesbrough as well?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Sky, there was a documentary done recently about it. So Brian Robson went over, signed Juninho, tried to sign Roberto Carlos, and what the club told Brian Robson was, he just signed for Inter Milan yesterday. Otherwise, we would have had him.
Wow.
So there was already a lot of hype around Juninho within our own club anyway.
Milan, Middlesbrough.
I know, yeah. I know.
It's basically the same, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So there was a lot of hype around him. So that first game really kick-started it when he assisted. He actually had 3 spells with us over the years, and in 2004, when it was his last kind of season with us, we got to the League Cup final, and we won it, which was amazing, our first ever trophy. But just the fact that Juninho was there and was part of that was just like such a full circle moment for Middlesbrough fans, because of everything that he'd given us over the years, and the fact he was our best ever player, and then the fact that he got to play in that match and lift the trophy as well. So yeah, his first game, a lot of hype, which he lived up to, and then just the fact that he got to be part of that winning cup team as well was brilliant.
Oh, this is incredible. Is this like your thing?
So what have we got? So those are for you.
This is amazing. So Al has brought us some incredible match attacks.
Lucas, he's my second favourite.
Trading cards. Oh, look at this! Look, yeah, Peter Crouch.
Mo Salah.
Incredible.
Matt still doing them, then? Van Dijk.
Wow, goodness me. Michael Tongue, what a player he was! I'm so happy. Yeah, look at this, superb.
So, this is for your next.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Okay. So Al has brought us gifts galore, but look at these. These are some classic Merlin's Premier League sticker books. He's got them all. This is amazing.
Yeah, 94 to 99 in there, and France 98 World Cup.
94 to 99.
Wow.
Goodness me. This is peak my era of Premier League sticker collecting. So actually, I've got a story for you, Joe.
Oh, go on.
So football stickers were part of my salvation story.
Are they really?
They really were, yeah. Wow. So I encountered God at the age of about 9, I think. So that would have been 97. And so I was living with my dad. He was a single parent at the time. And he'd come to know Jesus about 2 weeks before, and did that thing where, like, why is he playing all this weird music? Like, do you know what I mean? I knew something was going on, but didn't quite, And I remember this moment really vividly. We were in a room. We were in the same room. He was decorating a room, and he was playing worship music on an old cassette tape. And there was just a moment where he sort of came and I was on the floor. I was on the floor with my football stickers, doing the sort of, putting them in piles and getting them in order, to make it easier for the swapsies. You know what I mean?
Got not got.
Yeah, absolutely. And then my dad came and sat next to me and just sort of said, "Ed, can I talk to you about something?" I was like, "Yeah, what?" And he said, "I want to introduce you to Jesus. I've met him and it's like changed my life. Would you like to meet him?" And I just went, "Yeah, all right." I mean, I was probably thinking like, well, actually, I'm kind of in the middle of, some important...
Let me just put...
which team does he play for?
Yeah.
Which sticker number is he?
Don't think I've got him.
Definitely need.
Definitely need. Oh, there's a preach.
He'd be a shiny, wouldn't he? Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But so in the middle of all this very important Premier League sticker admin, I gave my life to Jesus, like lying on the carpet and
Amazing.
Crying into this carpet, and then I have to start it all again, all the sticker stuff. But never mind. So yeah, like Premier League stickers. Thinking about it, and I hadn't realised until you texted me asking about whether we were into stickers. But Joe, you weren't you, back in the day? Obviously a bit later.
I'm obviously a little bit younger than you both, so my Panini stickers were probably a bit too modern for you all.
Okay. What sort of year was this?
So my first one was actually it wasn't Panini, it was like a mini sticker book you got with like chewing gum or bubble gum or something, and you get a card every time so I just loved bubble gum at that time.
You went through a real bubblegum phase.
2004, 2005, these like tiny stickers, tiny book. Then the next year, 2005, 2006 was my first Panini sticker album. I was just obsessed with it. And I could name you every team from that season in alphabetical order because of that sticker book.
Yeah.
And even now, if I do like a football quiz, I will be like, I'll go through teams from 2005, 2006 using that.
Can you do it now?
Oh, put me on the spot.
Okay, come on, I've got the
niche quiz.
I've got the list here. Go on, 0506.
Okay.
Go for it.
Arsenal,
correct.
Aston Villa,
correct.
Birmingham,
correct.
Blackburn,
correct.
Bolton,
correct.
Charlton,
correct.
Chelsea,
correct.
Everton,
correct.
Fulham, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Portsmouth,
come on,
Sunderland,
here we go,
Tottenham, West Brom, West Ham, Wigan.
He's done it!
Wow.
Get in.
I believe that's called ball knowledge.
That is incredible, Joe. You have gone up in my estimations. Wow.
It's niche.
That is
Panini
amazing.
ball knowledge at its finest.
Wow. Superb. Well, Al, I think that's a good note to just say thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for bringing in these stickers, these cards. This is amazing, and really had a lovely bit of Premier League nostalgia there. And so, just finally, where can people find out more about your work, what you do? How can people get in touch with you?
So for the last couple of years, I've been doing what I do primarily for the Message Trust, which is a Christian charity based out of Manchester, but I'm based up in the northeast where I live. So they employ me to do what I've always done in terms of my football ministry, which is fantastic. So working for the Message is amazing. You can get in touch with the Message on the website, which is messagetrust.org, I believe.
If it's not, we'll put it in the description.
You can also, I'm also on Instagram and all the socials, which is at AJ Soccer Skills, which is where you can find all my football stuff.
And how can we be praying for you ahead of the World Cup and all the next few months?
Just I've got a lot booked in already, which is amazing. So I guess just for me at the moment, one thing that I'd love prayer for is I do quite a lot of stuff internationally now as well, where I'm going to different places for different periods of time. So prayer for family at home. I've got my wife of 20 years, Beth, and 4 kids at home. So I go to work for a rest. But pray for family when I'm away, that type of stuff, and just for a really busy summer. So pray for that would be amazing. Thank you.
Well, it is time, Al and Ed, for Bible Ballers the Answers. I asked you earlier on to name every club that Mark Hughes has managed.
Okay.
Am I allowed to go through my sticker books just to check? Because I suddenly thought there might be some answers in it.
He's in there.
I have seen Al making a few notes throughout the episode. He's added a couple. So
Yeah.
who wants to
I'm
go
not sure.
first?
Go on, Al. I think you should go first.
Okay, Man City. Start with the easy one. Carlisle, which I think is most recent, if not current.
I won't give answers just yet. Keep going.
Bradford City, and I'm not sure about this next one. Crystal Palace, and I'm also not sure about the last one. Everton.
Okay.
Okay,
Edward.
so I didn't get Man City. Which, like, as soon as you said it, I was like, of course. So these are the ones I've got. Stoke,
Of course.
QPR,
Oh,
Blackburn, Fulham. I think he might have been Wales manager.
That's not a club, isn't it?
Oh, you're not giving me Wales.
I did say club.
bonus
Oh,
point. Bonus point.
and then I also just put Southampton because he feels very Southampton-y.
Does feel quite Southampton.
Yes, that's a shout.
I can tell you, Al, you got 3 correct.
Well done, Al.
And I know which 3 it is.
And Ed, 5 correct.
Oh,
You did
very
very
good.
well. But Al did get his current club, Carlisle United.
Yeah, which is
The National League.
which is very good.
I
yeah.
like the fact that we didn't get any the same either.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
impressive.
That's
Really
good.
impressive.
So go on, read off the list.
Well, he started at Wales. He finished his Wales playing career in 1999 and then became manager until 2004. Then Blackburn Rovers, Man City, Fulham, QPR, Stoke, Southampton, Bradford, Carlisle.
I'm very happy with Southampton
Yeah.
because I cannot remember him managing
He does
Southampton.
feel
He just
Southampton.
feels very
Yeah, no, he did.
Southampton-y.
There for 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, that was 8 together. That wasn't too
Yeah,
bad.
well done. That was a lovely team
You know
He
effort.
the-
wasn't there for 4 years. I lied.
You can give us a point for a team effort, I think.
Yeah.
You know the special fact about Mark Hughes, don't you?
Go on.
Go on.
He's the only player in the history of the game to play 2 games in one day.
I do know
Is
this.
it?
I do know this. Yes, it
Is that
was.
a Bayern Munich?
It was a Barcelona Bayern Munich thing, wasn't
Yes.
it? And
So
they
he played for Wales,
yes.
lunchtime kick-off, and then flew to Germany and came off the bench in the second half for Bayern,
Amazing.
the late kick-off.
Amazing.
Incredible stuff. Incredible,
So good.
incredible stuff.
Don't do that today.
Well, Al, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We're going to get him out in the UCB car park later on,
yes.
doing some keepy up. So make sure you get onto our YouTube channel at Big Man Up Top Pod, and also the Instagram. There'll be stuff on there as well. Same handle at Big Man Up Top Pod. And thank you for listening. It's been a lovely day,
It's
hasn't it,
been
Joe?
lovely, yeah,
It's been-
so far.
It's been great. If you want to get in touch with the show, please ping us an email to podcast@ucb.co.uk. And there'll be a new episode out next week, won't there?
There will.
See you there.
Bye.